Good afternoon, everybody. Everybody awake? Yeah? I'm very, very excited for today's master class. I'm excited for all of our master classes, but especially excited because someone who's been a terrific friend to us and a terrific leader in helping young people reach their potential as violinists. We're happy to welcome Ida Kavafian with us. And we have two students to play for you today. Our first performer is Audrey Kim. Audrey is a student of J Freivogel, and Audrey will be playing Bach Sonata number 2 in A minor, the Grave. And let's go, Audrey.
resolution, or a cadence that's natural and not a big point. So what I would do in this opening, I would probably just draw a line as if you're just, drawing, and then decide, okay, this is where your home key is, right? You're back in A minor here. This, I think, is an intense place harmonically. So I would think this is more intense than your home key. So I would probably aim a little bit for that, but also just keeping in mind, like if we had a screen, we could show everybody what we're talking about. But that's a little bit less, although it's a beautiful partitura. Goes back up. My violin playing is better than my singing. Let me just give. Although these days,
I was going to say,
I was like, I don't have any time to practice. So let's try that first phrase. Oh, and then I felt for you when your E string didn't speak. There are a couple of things you can do. There are a few things you can do. One thing, you put your fiddle up. One thing is that it's really important for you here to make this shape and not this shape. So I should be able to take this and slide it in through here. See, that's too tight. Make it bow. Okay, take your, I got your fiddle. Hold, get your hand away and show me an O with your, okay, good. That's it. Do you see what I mean? So this is too tight, and what might be happening is that this part of your hand is actually just barely touching the E string, and so it won't speak, and sometimes it squeaks. Now, it's possible that it's the string, but what we have to do is all of the things that we can do to mitigate that, right? So that would be one thing, would be to make sure that you're open in your hand, and I would suggest adjusting your hand position just a little bit so that you're, see what I mean, right here should be open. If I'm here, then I'm touching. So try making sure, even if you can't do it with your hand set up before you start, open it when you get to the E string. Yes, and don't be afraid. Go for it. Yes, I think the more fear we have of the squeak, the more it's going to squeak. So you have a bass, you have harmony, and a melody. Go for the melody. Think of the melody as the beat and the break of the chorus slightly forward. That's it. All the way to here. Keep going. Now, diminuendo. Good. That's it. So when you do this, so what we want to sound like in this movement and the first one with the G minor, although that's an adagio, but we want to sound like we're improvising, right? But we also have to be super rhythmic. So those things sometimes clash. So let's say you take a for that, when you go for this, don't lift, go across. And then you'll be a little bit more refined in between the slurs. Good, so let me show you. That was perfect. You understand what I'm getting at, right? So, the difference between a good student and a great artist is all those details. So when you listen to somebody who's a great artist, you don't hear them shifting unless they're sliding. You don't hear them crossing strings unless there's something in the music that calls for it. So the refinements is what makes the difference. Let's keep going. Wait, let me hear your A for a second. That's close enough. Okay. Let's do that trill now that you're doing it so beautifully. Yes. Make sure that whole step is big enough. Yes. Sometimes in your playing, I hear wah-wahs. So I think it's important to concentrate on a good legato so that all these slurs have this smoothness, especially something like this. There's music where you want to push every note, but I don't think this is the music. So let's try to get a real legato. Yes. Try an open string there. Don't be afraid of your E string. That's going to be more smooth. So you have to, let's work on your bow distribution. Get to the frog. And stay there. Good, keep going. Good. So one way to not split this slur that you just split is let's do that. Let's try it. Yes. Good. See, it's not a big deal, and then that way we can keep the slur that you wrote. There are a couple of other slurs later on that I would like to work on with you. Okay, now here's a cardinal rule. If you play a note, and then you're going to play it again, like in a couple of notes later, and you can keep your finger down, you should do that. Why should we try to find a note twice? Right? It's hard enough once. Okay, so this thing. Keep your fourth finger down. That's going to be one bow. That's it. Triangle kick. No. Do down, down, up, up. And open your hand so we don't squeak. That's it. Trill from the top. That's it. Very good. This is a place people like to stop. I'm not sure why. The form of the movement is binary, right? There's two parts. Where does the second part start? This is the beginning of the second part. So we're still going here. You can make it diminuendo, you can phrase down, but it should not be a resting place because we're really still trying to get to the end of this first section. let's try it. Let's see. So this is down bow. And then this, stay at the other octave. Yes, so when you go from here, are you going to a 1? Don't let us hear the noise in between. Better, but not good enough. That's it. Now I'd like you to try another bow in here, which will allow you to keep the slurs. So another down bow, and then we'll fix what comes later. Lazy. Good. Yes, but I hear more legato. Now down. Keep going this way. Now a surprise. Yes, let's do it so that we don't give it away. Okay? Just a little bit of crescendo at the end of those 16s. So you see, I'm just giving you some options in order to keep what Bach wrote. So let's start from there. That'd be a down bow. Yes, show us the separate note. That's it. Oh, okay, let me see the fingering. Okay, you got the 2 there. Actually, I don't usually like this addition, but I like that fingering. Yeah, and all you're going to do is stretch back. And then you have 2 half steps on either side of your second finger. Now keep your first finger down so that this can be smooth. my opinion of this edition. I think a lot of the fingerings are very good. I think a lot of the bowings are very bad. Because for me, and not to diss the editor, but he tended to facilitate an early, an easy way of playing. So everything was equally divided. So the bowings are easy, but they don't follow the music. The fingerings are clever. See, that's much more smooth than the other fingering. Yes, so this is all separate, but the first thing we wouldn't play separate, we would probably do. That's good. I'm getting the sense that you're trying to do something with the bow, but it's not real clear. So I think a way to do this. So starting with a slow repetition and then going faster until you go to the next beat. That's it. Excellent. Really good. You're very fast, you're very musical. Don't be lazy with the fourth finger. Make sure you make a circle. And if you can't make the circle when you start a chord, make it when you break to the top. And then try to eliminate all those in-between sounds, because then you'll sound much more refined. Great job.
There are more seats up at sort of the front. Nobody wants to sit in the front row, I know, but we do have more seats if folks would like seats over on this side and up in the corner up here while we're making our changes. Our next performer is Daniel Chi. Daniel is a student of Chuck Parker, and Daniel will be playing Capriccio Vignois. I got it. See, they got it. By Fritz Kreisler, and Daniel, you, no, okay. So Daniel is accompanied by Judy Kim. Thank you.
Is there a matchstick on this piano? Well, that's a big house, but still, I think it's nice to hear. The harmonies are so beautiful. We need to hear them. I don't know what that is and if it's in your way.
This is fine. I'll get it over. It's all right. I'll get it over.
But that's where you should stand. works. He had the transcriptions of other people's music, and then he had the category of fake composers that were actually his pieces, and then he had his original. You know, he made up composers' names like Pugnani and people that didn't exist, because he wanted people to think that they weren't his works, but they were the works of somebody who lived like in the Baroque era or something like that. Anyway, so being Viennese himself, this of course was extremely dear to him, this kind of music. It's not exactly what we associate with a Viennese waltz, because it's a slower, kind of more heavy thing. But I think it still calls for a little bit of lilting on the dotted note. So, and then when you do a hook, it should still sound like what you did without the hook. Like when you, okay, start the andante just by yourself once, just the melody and the andante. Good. So when you do a hook later, let's see, I guess it was when you have to start the tune on an up bow. Yeah. Yes. So just make it sound as if it's like a Bach fugue, you know. If you hook the note, you still have to make it sound like it was separate. We had, in my studio, I do remember some things in my youth. In my studio, we had really great violinists. Had the two violinists of the Emerson Quartet were my classmates, and in my studio, and we used to have this thing where we'd have to, people would close their eyes, and we'd have to do this. And then, see, I didn't do it very well. So people would close their eyes, and as soon as they thought they heard a hook, it would be like, hook! So you wanted to hide the bowing. So we always, in violin playing, should make the music be the primary thing and not the technique. So a good bow arm is essential, and taking care to make sure that your bow doesn't dictate the phrasing, but that you tell your bow, okay, this is what we're going to do, right? Good. The beginning was very good. Can you sustain this more? This. So let's look at the piano part. So dee-dum, right? You're supposed to hold till the end, and then there's a rest, and then you do the next thing. So you should save enough bow that you can hold all the way till the end of her resolution. Beginning. It's a long ways, isn't it? Yeah, that's tough. Let's do the second one. Good. There's not a lot of room for error in a harmonic, so you have to make sure your bow is really straight. Let's do the beginning right once more, please. Very nice. I understand you're going to make a crescendo, but the sound with which you come in should be rich and juicy. You know, it should be have a lot of like sonority, a new sonority. We've done this brilliant thing, and then this kind of nostalgic one, and now comes from the gut. Yes, I find the stroke a little too much. Instead of, I think you should get right into it. using a little less left-hand pressure and a little bit more of a vibrato kind of thing. And then when you get to here, let it go. Good. That was terrific. Linger a little bit longer if you have the bow. One more time. In the second one, I wouldn't go so spiccato off the string. I would just, you know, if you watch these guys play, there was a lot of this, you know. Yeah, so. How are you coming down? Good, good. So it's kind of this stroke, yeah. Do the first one. Oh, and then I would love to change the character right away. On the second one. So I think it could go faster right away, and with a little zig. First one. Lovely. Chase the boat, chase the boat. Yes. Yes, and then just watch for her resolution. I don't think there's so much stuff happening in the piano. You don't have to worry about a bow change. But I think that's better to end down bow on that F sharp. Good. Let's go on. That was terrific. It sounded really good. So that's tough. Let's just do the whole thing again and just watch that the intonation on the fourth, and then watch the articulation in the next phrase. I think the first one connects 4. But this one, yeah, that's fine. Some hard fingering stuff, but I think this, that wasn't a big enough interval. Yeah. And it's just an equal, right? Full step on both sides. Let's start right there. That was lovely, the way you did the long note and then the down one. So here's a couple of ideas. This fingering. Yes, and then when you come down, then the 2-2 works better instead of having to do 2-2-2. And then, and I wouldn't, the shortcut fingering with the open string works in a moving line, but for a long line, the voicing isn't right. So the A string's too loud and it's not the melody, so I would close. So let's try those 2 things. That's good, that's fine. Yeah, you want to try it again? But that's the idea. I like this little connector here. A little down slide up with the 3 in the old bow. Yeah. And mostly the voicing just to the E. On the slide. you're good at hitting it. Why don't you do it faster? And when you do the, keep your attention, not like the beginning where you just, you stop and then you do the next one. This is different. Fantastic. That was great. One thing that I noticed about the ricochet is it's a stroke that, like every other stroke, I should be able to take the bow out of your hand like that, right? But the ricochet, you should grab the bow. You get a better bounce. Make sure it's even though it doesn't seem it, it's a controlled stroke. Yep. Hold that bow, and so let's try this. She sounded great in this section. And make sure you make a sound on the pits. Okay, so we can go on. Or do you want? Let's try it. Just a few bars, and then we'll go on. We'll skip. Yeah, that was good. Yes. What if? Just go. Good. That's great. So let's go to here. Yeah, start on the G. Now D. Yeah, so it's this is this heroic landing, and then the upbeat to the waltz again. What if you played for me
was online over the summer during COVID. I think you played the Steve Holidays Brilliant.
Yeah, that was one play.
That's great. I'm glad to hear you again, and it's just so great that you're studying this kind of music, you know, because it's a whole other kind of art. And my teacher was a real disciple of Kreisler's, and he played for Kreisler, and the cadenza to the Beethoven concerto was not published yet, but he heard Kreisler play it, and then remembered it. I mean, he's a genius. This is Oscar Shumsky was my teacher, and then he played it for Kreisler. He was like, "Where'd you get? There's no music to this," and he was, you know, he just had committed it to memory. So, then he also recorded all of the works of Kreisler, and he was doing a lot of that while I was studying with him. So all of us were studying pieces of Kreisler at the time too. But you do a beautiful job. Very nice. Bravo. Anybody have any questions or please?
Break your stuff.
Well, scales, long tones, and learning how to maximize all the hair on the bow. So I think flat hair is really important. And then, of course, vibrato. When you first started, I thought the vibrato was super fast. So I would probably slow down the vibrato and make it more of a round sonority. But I think long tones with scales, just, you know, each violin is different, so you have to figure out how much you can push, and it's different on every string and different on all the registers. So you just take your fiddle to the limit in long sustained scales. And then the other thing is, you know, a lot of people think that projecting is pressing, but I think a lot of the really great players, they pull the sound out of the violin instead of forcing it. I always think that we have to work in cooperation with the instrument, and you can't really force it to do something. So the sound, pulling the sound and
Let's all thank Ms. Kavafian. Unfortunately, I never have you for as much time as we like, but we really appreciate this coming here and working with our students and sharing with everyone. We have to send everybody else back to work here. So,
I totally appreciate coming.
but thank you so much for coming. Thanks again. Audrey Daniel.